You've all sacrificed so much to be here and be a part of this thing we're doing. This crew is made up of couples. It's the first ever large-scale colonization mission. And everyone's really grateful for your hard work and your courage. We're making history here. What happened here?
So I'm at the store. Keep in mind I have no car. I'm shopping when I go to leave, and I notice that the parking lot is a complete and utter madhouse, okay? It's like Black Friday or something. So I can barely even walk through the parking lot because cars are going crazy. So I'm forced to go around. I have to climb over this old, junky, tall, and rickety fence just so that I can ride some crappy bus just so that I can get here. Hey, illegals? You guys can relate. Immigration is one of the most difficult and controversial issues to discuss in today's political atmosphere. You have people on one side who think that there should be no immigration at all, and then you have people on the other side who think that there should be all immigration and no borders and no walls and we should all just magically coexist. Thankfully, however, those people are mostly just irrelevant lesbian soccer moms now. I think it's fair to say that immigration is at a point inevitable. We live in the greatest country in the world. People are going to want to come here, and that's okay. Unfortunately, some people who do, well, they're not the best people, however. So without further ado, I present to you, Dear Illegal Immigrants. Dear illegal immigrants, we don't hate you. We hate the way you came here. In a very predictable fashion, the left has deemed anyone against illegal immigration as some sort of racist Nazi bigot. I mean, if we're against illegal immigration, it must mean that we're just against immigration as a whole, or even more specifically, we must be against Mexicans, right? Wrong. According to the left-wing journalist site The Root, which must have grown from a planted tumor, in an article they explain why evil mayo crackers hate immigrants. They discuss why Republicans are against DACA. When asking why Republicans hate DACA, their answer was, because Obama is black and Republicans are racist. So do you just choose to be retarded, or? But hey, maybe he has a point. I mean, we can all be a little bit nicer to illegal immigrants. We all enjoy an occasional sniff of cocaine or a puff of meth. But seriously, being against illegal immigration in no way means that we are against immigrants or racists somehow. Obviously, I can't speak for everyone, but I hope I can speak for some when I say that we don't hate you because you are an immigrant. But this is a country founded on laws that are meant to be followed and kept. Who's to say you'll even be a good citizen if you've already broken our laws just by coming here? Listen, I can understand why you are coming to the United States, because Mexico is a shithole. According to Pew Research, 81% of Mexicans believe crime is a very big problem in their country, 75% believe there are economic issues, and 73% believe illegal drugs are a problem. And I also understand that most illegal immigrants are searching for a better life. Most believe life is better in the United States. Close to 6 in 10, or 57%, say that people who move from Mexico enjoy a better life in the US, up from 51% in 2007, and the vast majority of those who are in regular contact with friends and relatives living in the US say those friends and relatives have largely achieved their goals. And it's not just racist bigots who are against illegal immigration, the common person should be as well. When you apply for citizenship, you are given a green card and then eventually go down the path of becoming a naturalized US citizen. According to the US Citizenship and Immigration Services, in order to determine if you are eligible, you must be 18 years old, a lawful permanent resident of the US, physically in the country, and most importantly, of good moral character. Good moral character determines if you've ever killed anyone, committed terror attacks, engaged in illegal activity, and so on. When illegals are made into legal citizens, they are properly vetted. I think we can agree that we don't want any old schmuck just walking into the United States. The process of citizenship ensures that US citizens are kept safe. And becoming a citizen doesn't only benefit people who are already US citizens. When you become a citizen of the United States, you can vote, run for public office, travel, not worry about deportation, sponsor your own family for green cards, benefit from tax laws, and more. So when we say that we don't hate you, but we hate the way you came here, one could argue it's for your own benefit. Dear illegal immigrants, stop acting so entitled. As I previously stated, most illegals are here pursuing a better life, but we do have a select group of people who act like total spoiled bitches.
Ooh, so you want to deport illegal invading immigrants?
And make a fuss?
Muy bien!
When are you moving your ass out of Texas?
Yikes, you guys better be a little bit more careful. Last I checked, being a self-entitled little asswipe isn't very good moral character. But this is the exact attitude that I'm talking about. Acting demanding and self-entitled towards a country that's currently giving you refuge. I mean, this idiot is wearing a shirt that says, "Make America Mexico Again." And he's not the only one. Several other people perpetuate this idiotic and insane slogan. Help me understand just a little bit, but if you're fleeing from Mexico so you can have a better life in America, why in God's name would you want this country to turn back into the country that you're fleeing from? I mean, I must be a gay guy still alive in Iran because I'm terribly confused.
Psst, here's a little known secret. White people are immigrants from Europe.
Okay, well, chill your sombrero, snarky Mexican bitch. Yes, the first white people in America were immigrants, but the difference is, they didn't come here illegally. There were no immigration laws set in place at the time. Sure, there were multiple tribes of indigenous people, but they were scattered throughout the land. They were not a single unit like the US is now, and they certainly weren't capable of making immigration laws. Besides, by your logic, should we just base everything off the past? I mean, hey, at one point there were no gun laws, but as more guns started appearing, gun laws were set in place. It's now common knowledge that you should get your gun legally. The same goes for immigration. Things change and things evolve, and that's okay. Back in September, undocumented protesters had the nerve to shout down Nancy Pelosi of all people because she had negotiated with Donald Trump.
You have been fighting deportation?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You do not. You don't know what you're talking.
Can we deport these people for predictability? Yes, you are seeing this correctly. Illegal aliens protesting the woman who cares more about them than American citizens. This, my friends, is what self-entitlement looks like. Can you imagine the self-indulgent attitude you must have to be here illegally, allowing this country to provide you with a better life, the chance to go to school, and the chance to work a real and good job, and then autistic screeching over American politics that you really have no say in? Shut the f up. Here's some breaking news. You're not special because you broke the law by being here. You are not a unique, poor, or special little victim because you've been residing in this country illegally when you've had plenty of time to begin pursuing citizenship. Don't act like this country owes you anything when you couldn't even respect this country's basic laws. When you act entitled or bitchy, it doesn't make anyone have sympathy towards you. It makes you look like a spoiled, demanding child who'd be better off selling piñatas in Mexico. If you want to stay here, start exhibiting some good moral character and cool it with the outrage, demanding behavior, and the overall lack of respect towards a country that's given you everything. And finally, dear illegal immigrants, you are not a victim. It's extremely common for places like BuzzFeed, other liberals, or even illegals themselves to paint themselves as these poor, sad victims. Don't get me wrong, maybe you were a victim in Mexico, but being an illegal immigrant here in the US does not mean that you are now a victim. If you came here illegally, it's your fault and yours alone. Take some responsibility for your own actions. Either way, in a society where the biggest victim is the biggest winner, this kind of behavior makes perfect sense. The dumpster of the internet BuzzFeed posted a video a while back trying to use emotion over facts to try and make us feel sorry for illegal immigrants. Heartbreaking confessions of undocumented immigrants.
I'm working 12 hours a day, getting $6 an hour because I'm undocumented. Still, people say that I'm a terrorist.
Well, helpful hint, you'd be making a lot more money if you pursued citizenship and then actually became a citizen.
I've been living in constant fear of deportation for 13 years now.
13 years is more than enough time to get your green card and, yes, begin pursuing citizenship. Your fear does not mean that anyone owes you their sympathy. You got yourself into this mess, start fixing it rather than sitting around whining.
I've been feeling depressed because I don't know if my hard work is going to amount to anything since I'm undocumented.
Well, you wouldn't be depressed if you pursued citizenship.
I would cry myself to sleep because people thought I was a bad person for not having documents. I'm not a bad person.
Sure, whether you're a good person or not amounts to more than if you have your papers or not. But you did break the law by being here, and you continue to break the law every day that you stay here. So yeah, maybe you should stop spending your days crying and start pursuing citizenship. Does anyone else notice a common thread here? All these issues have the same solutions. You came to America illegally. You can begin fixing this by pursuing citizenship. I understand it's difficult and I understand it's a long process, but sitting around whining does no good for anyone. I mean, it sounds like a lot of these people have been in the US for a long time. Why haven't they gone down the path of citizenship yet? Maybe they're just lazy, or maybe they just want to be the victim. I don't really know. Either way, it's time to stop playing the victim. You have a problem that can only be solved by you and you alone. I mean, most likely, the whole reason you left Mexico is to pursue a better life in the US, right? Why does the pursuit of a better life have to end once you've arrived in the United States illegally? Why not continue to pursue this better life by becoming a citizen? And illegals, let's not forget, you guys are privileged in a lot of ways also. First of all, our liberal society overwhelmingly supports illegals by perpetuating these emotional stories and so on. Nancy Pelosi, the same woman who is being protested by self-entitled wimps, gave a speech in favor of illegal immigrants, standing and speaking for 8 hours. This is the same woman who refused to stand for America, who refused to stand for the black unemployment rate being at an all-time low, and even for people who were tragically murdered by illegal immigrants. But then she proudly stood and spoke for illegals. She even went a step further by thanking illegals for being here and bringing their children.
And I say to their parents, thank you for bringing these dreamers to America. We're in your debt for the courage it took for you to take the risk physically, politically, in every way.
Isn't this just painfully ironic that she claims that we are in their debt somehow? Nancy Pelosi is creating this self-entitled attitude among illegals, the same attitude that chased her off stage last year. You have governors who want to extend free tuition to illegals. You have the University of California rolling out $25 million to fund illegal immigrants' education. Then, a year later, the same university decided to limit the number of Americans enrolled while not placing any such limit for illegal immigrants. I mean, it's not even a secret anymore. You as illegals are usually favored over Americans. So stop crying, stop playing the victim, and stop acting so entitled. You are in the greatest country in the world. We want immigrants. We just want them here legally. So it's your choice now. Continue living in fear, risking being deported, and mooching off the system and sympathy points, or stick true to your pursuit of a better life and start working to become a US citizen. Not only will America greatly benefit, but you will benefit also.